Good afternoon. This is Anza Borrego Explained. I'm Mark Jorgensen. We're giving you an update on the Anza Borrego wildflower bloom. It's a little after noon, midday. Last night we had 1/2 inch of rain, which, as we mentioned before, prolongs the wildflower bloom. We are on Henderson Canyon Road, traditionally one of the hot spots for Anza Borrego wildflowers. We're halfway between Borrego Valley Road and Pegleg Road on Henderson. North side of Henderson Canyon Road, ample parking out there on the pavement, and we're about 150 yards in right now to the north. And about 2 weeks ago, we predicted this place would be totally busted out in about 10 days. Well, that's the problem with wildflower prediction. It got cool, it rained a couple more times, and the wildflowers are taking their sweet time to come into their prime time. What we do have out here right now, a lot of desert sunflowers are in bloom. If you hike in off the road, you'll see big fields of yellow. Lots of dune primrose, and the most striking thing out here on Henderson Canyon Road is what's still to come. There's going to be a tremendous wildflower bloom here, and this coming weekend we have forecasts of 78 to 80 degrees, and a few days at that level, around 80, this place will bust out. But right now we have some 3-foot tall desert sunflowers. We have tons of dune primrose, but what we're seeing, and I'll walk up here to this one, we're seeing most of the sunflowers in this area and many of the dune primrose are all budded up and ready to really do their thing in the coming week to 10 days. So the interesting thing is, here's a plant with about 4 or 5 blooming sunflowers, but there's probably 200 buds on it. And every one of these dune primrose that we're looking at has a little crown just full of buds ready to go. Hidden in among all of this, you almost have to get out and walk to appreciate it, are the white mallows, or the dune mallow. It's not a real showy plant, but it's the dominant ground cover here. It's a native in the mallow family. We have some evening primrose, popcorn flower, lax flower, and visiting most all of these, we have now a huge hatch of butterflies, painted ladies, and they're really moving. Seems like from south to north today. We've had a storm system that came out of Mexico, and the general wind pattern is pushing these things north. So still to come, excellent flowers. Hot spots right now, if you're coming out this week, still the end of DeGiorgio Road and the first couple miles of Coyote Canyon Road. Perfectly graded dirt road, passable to all vehicles. And then out County Road S22, the Borrego Salt and Seaway. Still several thousand acres of San Verbena and desert sunflowers and desert lupin out at milepost 31, about 12-14 miles east of Borrego Springs. So it's still to come. We expect huge crowds on the weekends. We appreciate most of you coming out like you have been during the week. Talked to a lot of people on weekday mornings. It's working out great for them. Stop at the State Park store on Palm Canyon Drive in the mall in Borrego Springs, or at the Visitor Center. Pick up a $2 wildflower brochure, a free park magazine, and maybe a map of the park for $1, and you're all set. Bring water, a little bit of food, tank of gas, and you're all set. If you can stay away from the weekends, do that. But the bloom is probably going to hold on right through the month of March, and then we're going to get into ocotillos and all the cacti blooming. The barrel cacti and the beaver tail started blooming this week. Many of the ocotillo are just holding huge amounts of red buds, and they're going to be blooming out here in another week to 2 weeks, and they'll carry us on into mid-April. So thank you for tuning in to Anza Borrego Explained. We tell you where to go. Hope to see you out here. Have a great trip to the desert.